Yeah, hey, we do dates up top. My name's Neal Brennan. Here's what the fuck I'm doing. I'm going to be in Portland. Everybody knows this. We've been clear about this. Portland. I'm coming the 14th, 15th, and 16th of November. Then the week after that, I'm going to be in Phoenix at Stand Up Live. Just one night. Stand Up Live, Phoenix, Thursday, November 21st. Come fuck with me.
I've got exciting news, guys. I have too much to tell you, but I'll try. That next weekend, I will be at Caroline's with Natasha Leggero, and on the 13th of November, I'll be on W. Kamau Bell's Totally Biased on FXX. So come fuck with me at any of those places. New Year's Eve, I'll be in San Francisco at the Palace of Fine Arts with Doug Benson, Natasha, Pete Holmes.
Oh, yeah, New Year's Eve.
It'll be
I
fun.
don't even know.
You got some New Year's action?
Yeah, I'm going to be at the La Jolla Comedy Store.
Well, hold on. I'm not done with mine.
Oh.
At the Palace of,
People know that show.
I'm all done. All right,
Yeah.
I was done, but
Let
I just
Corey
wanted...
get some of this.
Okay, hold on. All right.
Hey, what's up? Am I on?
Yeah, Corey, now.
This fucking thing working? Hey, so we plugging dates. Hey, so everybody at what is this, West Nyack, New York? I never heard of the shit, but I'll be at Levity Live.
Yeah, Levity Live. That's a good club.
Oh yeah,
I
14th
think.
through the 17th of this month, and I just want to plug the Jacksonville date, which is the 21st through the 23rd, the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville.
Sure.
So you fucks come see
You know
me.
what that sounds like? That sounds like a room in which I would bomb.
Really?
The Comedy Zone?
Jacksonville Comedy Zone. I'm betting a lot of Neal Brennan fans don't live in Jacksonville.
Dude, there was a comedy club chain in Florida called Coconuts that was so obscure. It's not that I hadn't heard of the headliners. I hadn't heard of their credits. I didn't know anything that anyone...
It wasn't even Comics Unleashed. It was like
It
some
was
other
beyond. They had been leashed.
I never heard of that club.
No, you never would. You have credits that I've heard of. And let's talk about that. We will discuss that in 1 second.
Right
as we
after
begin.
this.
The Champs.
Wet the cookers and shit. Get some milk and cookies. 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 Milk and cookies.
Now
Get some
you're fucking with the Champs.
Get some milk and cookies. Get some milk.
Okay, yeah, here we are. The Champs are fucking back.
Champs are back.
Fuck.
We are on schedule.
We are loading up episodes, you
Cock
guys, because
diesel.
we're usually behind. This is Neal Brennan. We have a guest this week who we've gotten a lot of requests for.
Folks, this guy.
You would be surprised.
Yeah,
I was
bullshitting. People
No, I
requested
swear
me.
to God, people have said they want to do.
One of my favorite jokes ever written. You know how certain jokes stick in your brain when you hear them? This guy's one of my favorite jokes.
Go.
Let's see if I can do it, but I'm not going to have the. I'm not
Just
gonna
give
have
us
the
the
I wanna
delivery.
hear
information.
it. I'm anxious to hear which one it was.
I found an abortion clinic with a pool table in it. I played my doctor. I won my money back. Now, that's a good joke. I don't deliver it appropriately because I didn't write it and I don't know from where it comes, but I always remember that joke.
That's a short joke.
Well, it was a little longer. It's just I thought of that joke when I was in an abortion clinic and they had a picture of a pool table in it. I was like, I bet they had a
How
pool
many
table
abortion
in
clinics
here.
have you been in?
I've been in a few abortion clinics.
You're like a
Quite a
bad.
few.
You're like a bad guy.
That's
Some of them you can tell they're not clean. You don't know if old girl is going to be. She might.
Like they got a buffet
She might get
or
an
something?
infection back there, but not like you care if you're taking her to get an abortion. You don't give a fuck.
Oh, and good night, women. Thanks for listening.
No, they like to hear stuff like this.
All 10% of our.
Women do like to hear stuff like this. They like to hear like what guys are saying when they're not around. But I want to be clear that guys you'll say shit in front of crowds that I wouldn't say in just around dudes. Yeah, and you'll say it in front of an entire crowd of women and men you'll say shit that's like, all right, shit.
But I practiced that shit. It's like I was in front of the mirror trying to make the correct face.
The
for me to be
likability
able
face.
to pull it off. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah,
If you
what has
write
been
this
your
stuff-
evolution? Because me and Patrice used to talk about this all the time, and he actually, the thing that you came in an audition for, we had originally talked to him about, and then you came in. He was like, Corey, like he was like, if you basically Patrice, you're the new Patrice. Patrice crowned you.
Patrice, but you know what? Like Patrice was a real friend of mine, and I think Patrice became the man he was by watching me. Not the comic he was, the man he was.
You know what's hilarious? That's hilarious.
There are things that you're just not bold enough to say in front of people, but actually people want to hear that shit. And proof of that is how long shows like Jerry Springer and shit have been on the air.
Oh, so
yeah.
People have ratchetness about them.
He was the Ice Cube to your Eazy-E.
Well, I'm not taking credit for any of what Patrice used to do, but I'm saying I know when he watched me, it brought confidence about with what he wanted to say. What he wanted to say, it was like,
to say
fuck
foul
yeah,
shit. Yeah,
I'm going to go there.
But you know what he did, and this is what I was getting at. His HBO half hour is just like fuck everybody. And then he figured out a way to just do a little setup. It was basically fuck women, right? Mm-hmm. And then he figured out a way to do a little setup where he'd say women are, what did he say? Women are sad creatures. He would say shit that was kind of pro-women. And then he would basically say, like, women, I'm on your side, but.
Right.
Do you have those, or you try to do those with your face?
Well, I do it with my face. The facial expressions that I have when I talk on stage helps me pull it off. They feel like I'm trying to joke with them about it.
Right.
No, there's a kind of strange likability of evil. Like Anthony Jeselnik must have it. You have it. Patrice certainly had it. It's like, what I'm saying is horrifying, but somehow you're laughing. Even though I'm talking about you. Yeah, Tosh is a great example.
Where you're just like, what? He's like the demon seed. He's Satan.
I think people know right from wrong, and when they hear people deliver wrong a certain way, it's almost like being in the room with the baby oil by yourself. You're going to do something strange to yourself.
That's hilarious. Did it take you a while? How did you come to that voice? How long have you been doing stand-up? Oh, we haven't even introduced you. It's Corey Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, what would be on your Wikipedia page? Do you have a Wikipedia page? What does it say about you?
Yeah, I had one set up a while ago, but I don't really fuck with it. That's the
what
Hollywood
does it say?
shit. Corey Holcomb. That was back when I had these. When I first moved out here, I had some managers.
Oh, you were on Last Comic Standing. Was that like your bigger? Was that kind of like your first big thing?
Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, ish. It was. Things happened for me ever since I moved to California, but I guess Last Comic Standing was my first network seeing me more than 1 week thing. I think the first thing that happened to me was Jay Leno.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jay Leno put me on his show, and it was kind of weird. I got invited to all of the houses of the big-time brothers out here, but I didn't fit in.
Who, like Eddie's house? And
No, I went to Dwayne Martin's house, and I love those guys. They could tell I was different.
Right.
So
how different? How?
Back.
What do you mean?
Little. I don't know. There's things that go on at certain houses that I don't need to be around.
I feel like dicks are somehow being implied.
Well, I didn't see any of that. But come on, guys, let's just be honest. Sometimes things happen where you go in a room and you realize, okay, this is not my crowd. We all have respect for each other.
It's a different kind of baby oil.
Right. That guy's intelligent.
Let's be true. Let's be real though. Let's not. I don't want to say it was Dwayne's house.
No,
in
it's
particular. Just a certain.
No, that was just an example of what I use. As I start being
Right.
around certain people, I realize that, hey, this is not my crowd. But at the same time, there's still respect.
Right.
Still respect, because I won't shit on those guys. I got
Right.
respect for those guys.
There's like a little moisture.
No matter how much they might want you to shit on them.
That's their real shit right there.
That's really funny. And how many of those did you go to before you were like, eh?
Well, I would say 3, because after the third one, I realized I'm not going to embarrass myself and put anybody else on the spot just because I'm not able to smile at certain shit.
So where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Moved out here. I drove out here on a revoked license. And
on a dream and a
What did it get
license?
revoked for?
tickets not being paid.
All right.
We're basically trying to scratch to see if we can find any horrible elements
It's all
of your
good,
past.
man. And I that's when I found out the speeding limit in Montana. I think it was 90.
That's right.
You went the long way, huh?
I know. I went the wrong way. I didn't even know where I was going, man. All I know is those fucking trucks were like, roar. They were fucking flying. I was like, is there a speed limit out here?
When did you move out here?
2000.
When did you do Leno?
Maybe about 2001. I was out here for 15 days and had a holding deal at Fox Television.
Wow, man.
Yeah, man, I was blown away.
That's really good.
Deals
yeah, people used to get
holding.
holding. You got the last holding deal.
Yeah, one of those last few. Because the next year I got one at ABC.
Shit. And then after that?
We did something at this company called HIP. I think it had something to do with
HBO. Yeah. Independent HBO.
So it was like 3 in a row.
Shit.
I was able to put some money in the bank.
Yeah, that's great.
Off hope.
And the other thing, well, the thing about development deals, you can tell people that you didn't make any money. It ain't one of those things like people know how much money you made.
Right.
So you can tell your friends, like, man, I ain't seen shit.
Right. Just so they won't fucking, what do you call it? I call it riding dick, being phony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, motherfuckers know you got something going on. I had this guy, he found out about my situation, and he lived in Inglewood, and I had a flight, and he drove. I lived in the Valley. He drove to the Valley to pick me up and take me to the airport.
Oh, everybody's becoming kind. all of a
Meanwhile,
sudden.
Inglewood is next door to the airport.
Inglewood
That's
is right
hilarious.
next door to the airport, and the Valley is miles
He waved
away.
as you flew over.
He said, "Oh, Corey, I'll come get you." I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
Oh my God, look at this dumb fuck.
Although, some people get put on by that shit. I mean, there are guys that get like little parts and shit from like being cool with people.
They're guys in town, and this is another thing that nobody likes to say. They're built to be ghouls. Like the guy who ride right up under you and just be like, "Hey, I'm with this guy."
That is so true. There are people that have made whole careers on just being around.
Well, that's the
talented
thing.
people.
To speak about what you were just saying about going to the wrong houses, I don't do shit. I literally, where girls would go like, "What do you do?" And I'll go, "I don't do anything." And they go, "Why not? Why don't you go to parties?" And I'll even look at Instagram and shit, because Hollywood parties are full of people that you can't trust. It's 200 people that are not trustworthy people.
They're thinking about themselves
Yeah.
the whole time.
It's like, so why would I bother going hanging out with these people just because I guess it's that thing of like, I'm in this club, so it's supposed to be like this self-congratulations thing.
I think the best way to explain what you're saying, if you saw that movie, The Great Gatsby, the recent one, when he died and no one was there after he had all those spectacular parties, that's basically what Hollywood is.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how people like to be in that atmosphere all the time once you hit a certain age. When you're young, I could see it. It's like you just want to
If
be
you're trying
out
to get some
kicking it.
pussy, I totally get it.
Yeah.
But if you're fucking 30, between 30, after 35,
trying to get
what
some
am I
mind
doing?
pussy.
Trying to get some of that brain pussy.
Adult pussy.
Then now it's like, what am I going to do? What are you going to tell me, an anecdote?
The best place to find a quality woman, in my opinion, is Cancer Research Centers of America. The bitches there, they have good intentions. They really have good intentions. Have you been there?
No, but if you have an intimacy issues, you can work on relationships that will last only a certain amount of time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like buying a Great
In
Dane.
the waiting room, you meet
You know this motherfucker's going to be dead in 3 years.
Who, me?
No, it's like buying a Great Dane. You get to love this dog, and you have some shit you got to get to in a few years.
That's another way to look at it. But in the waiting room, the women are so open to talk to you.
And then, do they ever ask you, by the way, what are you doing here? You're like, I'm just here to meet people,
I wonder what they would say if I was just honest and say I'm looking for short-term pussy. That's why I'm here.
One of them, I'm sure, would go for it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
The one
What
with
are they
brain
gonna do?
cancer.
The one, how
they gonna
short
do?
term?
What are they
How
gonna
long
do?
can you got a car? All right, so you moved out here in 2000. Wait, what did you have?
I want to know how'd you grow up?
You mean, how did I grow up?
Yeah, what's your story? What's your life before comedy? Neal's the guy that wants to talk about the Hollywood arc. I'm the guy that wants to get into your psychology. And
Oh yeah, this is Questlove said this is the only place where black dudes talk about their inner life, their inner emotional life.
I'm proud of my my childhood and everything. I grew up a little project boy.
Which project?
Robert Taylor Homes,
Like the
in Chicago,
project? Yeah, Robert Taylor.
Stateway Garden in Chicago. We were in multiple projects.
Yeah, Robert Taylor's the one that they knocked down recently, right?
Yeah, they knocked down almost all of the projects. There's no project standing in Chicago anymore.
what do you think it is about Chicago? We've had so many guests on from really rough neighborhoods in Chicago. So many people. What do you think it is about Chicago making people funny?
Well, I know this. When you live somewhere that has 4 seasons, you see what you need to see in this world. Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, places where they get a wintertime, summer, spring, fall, Those are the places where you get the people who have the most to say because they've seen it all. Places where there's only like warm weather,
right?
There's only cold weather.
That's fascinating.
I think it does something to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of exceptions. I know Tosh is from like Arizona or Florida or something.
Who's
David
Tosh?
Daniel Tosh
From
Tosh
who are from
0.0.
California?
No. In terms of comedians, it's like
Who have come up in California?
who've come up in like warm weather climates. Brian Regan's from Florida, but for the most part, it is like
cold weather
Pryor,
people.
Eddie, Rock, Dave, fucking.
Well, how about this? This is what I want to add on to that then. I'm talking about guys who can relate to most audiences.
Yeah.
Because I think if you put me in front of the Jay Leno crowd, I'll do well. But if you put me in front of the urban crowd, I'll do well. Well, I say the urban crowd because I grew up around that. So
right.
that's like my bread and butter. But I'm smart enough to know what will work everywhere and what will only work in front of the urban crowd. And some
how
people
do you
find that out the hard way.
Yeah, do you have
white people find that out in a very
white
exciting
people?
There's
And I've
a-
seen guys who are funny in the urban rooms.
Oh, right.
Go
Yeah.
up in front of like a crowd, like I'd say the Jay Leno type of crowd, and they eat the whole dick. They tank.
There's nothing satisfies me more than seeing a white dude kill in a black room and then eat it in a white room.
The white guy eats it in the white room.
It's
You
what
talking about Honest John?
Honest John. Have you ever seen Honest John?
No.
He's like a hippie.
Oh, yeah. He's like a comic view guy, right?
Yeah.
He was like a biker-looking guy or something.
Well, he was more like he would wear a tie dye and shit.
Yeah,
And he
right.
would sing a song called "Honky in the Hood."
There were so many interesting, like, weird elements within that, like every fit, because it was always like in a black crowd. Like who does well is a white dude that really, really, really thinks he's black, or really, really doesn't think is really doing the white guy shtick. You know what I mean?
I pride myself on being neither.
You are neither.
Yeah, no, but I pride myself on never like wiggering it up when I do black rooms, and I don't go like, "Well, I'm a businessman,
Right.
and I am here and whatever." Like I really try.
A guy
to,
like Rodney Dangerfield will work in front of anybody.
absolutely, that's what I would say.
That's why he's one of my favorites.
Truly funny black people fuck with truly funny motherfuckers.
Yeah,
whatever
well, funny
color they are.
motherfuckers are accepted everywhere. That's
Yes,
how I
exactly.
say it. It doesn't matter where you go. If you're funny, people will get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so do you think like do you think Bruce is funny? I think he's very funny. Do you think? Okay, I don't want to.
I think Bruce does well, but if you put Bruce on Jay Leno, I wonder how that would go.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, Bruce at like the UCB theater. Like, there's no way that does. And I think he's a good.
It's
comedian.
not a knock on anybody, man. It's just the truth, man. Bruce in front of an urban crowd, I know he's gonna kill.
Yeah, he's good.
If you put him up, in front of that
for an
Caucasian
hour,
crowd,
yeah.
let's just be honest.
For an hour.
Yeah.
For an hour, it's like
I'm gonna be in the back looking at, you know how we look around the curtain with somebody not doing that's how us comics do it. And another thing comics don't like to admit, we actually like to see people bomb.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
More than we like to see people do well. Nobody wants to see their peers do well. Like, oh, he's killing. Who cares? I just want to see my friends bomb. That's
Is that
the
an
only
evil
interesting-
side of us? What is that?
I don't know. It's the only interesting way for me to watch stand-up comedy is to see someone I know is skilled just eat a dick.
Right.
Yeah.
well, it's also like Chappelle. You say that's how you can tell if someone's funny or not.
No, watch how they bomb.
Watch how they bomb.
I hate when people say they don't bomb because that is bullshit. Because you're put in all types of situations where every once in a while you're not ready for it.
Right.
A la me 2 years ago at Clark Atlanta University.
Tell us about it.
Go.
I'm older now, so for me to be able to excel in a college crowd, I have to be Corey Holcomb. So as I get there, the dean walks up to me and says, "No profanity." And I was like, "Why you guys didn't put this in the contract or whatever so I can prepare
Right.
to try and do 45 to an hour
Right.
of no profanity? Do you know who you hired?"
Yeah.
So they were standing on it and all that shit, and I just was like, okay, well, this is going to be one of those things because he got me fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm older now, you know what I mean?
And also, that's one of those things where they go no profanity, and you can't think of one joke of yours that doesn't have
in that
some
moment
pussy
you're
or some
panicking,
fuck in
yeah.
it.
But I know I'm funny because the thing that I said that pissed the kids off had the police officers and a couple of the teachers.
That's
They were
hilarious that you
fucking dying.
Oh, that's funny.
I told them, I said, I want you to know, this is when I ran out of the clean shit. That's about 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
I did good for 15, 20
How
minutes.
far back did you have to go to like your first act?
If I could remember the stuff from my first act, I would have done well. But I
Right.
don't remember those jokes.
Right.
But when I ran low, I said to the kids at Clark Atlanta University, I said, if your mother wasn't shit, there's nothing at this university they could teach you that's going to help you be shit.
That's hilarious.
It was that pause.
Wait a minute. Why would he say
like,
that?
Fuck you!
That's why I don't
scream,
like
"Fuck
doing
you"?
colleges.
Did they really? They scream "fuck you"?
Oh my God,
That's amazing.
they're allowed to curse. You know that, right?
They are allowed to curse, but you're
Oh,
not.
they didn't have the no profanity clause?
Yeah. Well, that lady, the dean, she came at me with that. She was mad. The security was walking me out because they cut the mic off.
They stopped you?
Did you fight back?
No, I didn't care. I had the check in my pocket.
Oh, great.
You didn't feel your self-esteem didn't take a blow, though?
Of course it did because,
Okay.
you're a prideful comedian. But I knew in that situation there's nothing I can do.
Right,
It's
right.
not coming to me like that. I'm in a situation where I've been shocked before I went on stage.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's why people should never say you'll never bomb. Oh, you don't know what type of situation you'll be in as a comedian.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up that thing about getting shocked before you go on stage because I always get rattled. But like I do get rattled sometimes, and then I'll have a shitty set, and I'm like, you got to figure out a way to get rattled and still do well.
Well, I have this experience. I have sort of the opposite experience in that I never bomb. Just kidding. No, in that no matter what I got going on in my life, somehow when I get on stage, I am able to forget about it. I don't ever bring that with me. So if I'm in a fight with my girlfriend or something, and then I step on stage, I'll forget it for 10 minutes, and then I get off stage, I'm bummed out again. But do you consciously think about, like, your dog is sick or your girl's cheating on you?
No, but it just gets in me.
It gets in your
Yeah.
spirit, right?
And people can't. And I'm not good at hiding it.
What you're
I
talking
run
about
with
is
that
different.
shit.
What
I
you're talking
run
about
with
is
that shit. Like
you had to deal
trauma
with it.
in my life, that's my show.
Right.
It's just I turn it around. But I feel like when you go on stage, you really need to have like 10 minutes to fuck away from everybody so you can gather yourself. And right as I was walking to the stage, this woman hits me with the no profanity clause. And can you imagine you being a guy like, I'm over 40. So it's like there's a whole bunch of kids, the gym is rocking, and then all of a sudden half my set is not possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck did you just say to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it fucked me up.
You know what's the worst feeling? Is when you're in the middle of a bad set and you go to your save it joke and you're like, okay, I'll just do my save it joke. And then your save it joke doesn't do shit.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it's like, there's nothing. You're looking down the long end of a 45-minute set.
Yeah, when you go for the emergency shoot.
And it doesn't open.
Yeah.
Or somebody grabs it.
Start
"You looking
talking
for this?"
start talking about Jesus Christ and shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bruce.
What does
Right.
Dion say when somebody's doing bad? He goes, "Oh, stuff's crazy right now."
Did you see that stuff? Did you say Beyonce?
No, Dion says.
Oh,
but
Dion Cole.
Yeah.
We
Well,
started together.
Yeah. All right. So did he grow up in the same projects as you, or did he grow up in a neighborhood? Right.
No, Dion was from the suburbs.
Shots
How about
fired.
D-Ray?
D-Ray is from the suburbs.
Who is from the projects?
Not a lot of comedians. Not a lot of comedians.
Do they?
That's not to diss Dion.
No,
and
yeah, they
D-Ray,
don't.
but
I don't
they're
think they
not from
claim any
Chicago.
prediction. Yeah, where are they from?
They're from the outlying suburbs.
Which ones?
Dalton, Illinois, Robbins, Illinois.
Oh, that's funny.
I was thinking about this today about rappers. How come how many years is hip hop? 30 years?
It's been out for a while.
Been out, yeah.
It's still not acceptable for a rapper to just go, yeah, I'm not tough in any way. Like, that's not my thing. I do a different thing.
I think that anything you come with, it's all about the individual.
Right. I'm just saying, like, culturally.
You can say, hey, if you were rapping about suburban shit and you were good, people would fucking like it. It's all about the individual.
Yeah, but
Kanye doesn't claim to be tough.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but he's got so much bravado that it's almost like he's the
Another guy I've never seen in Chicago.
Oh, Kanye.
I'm one of those motherfuckers. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
I've never seen Kanye in Chicago, and I know guys who are up under Kanye, and I'm like, hey man, so is this guy from Chicago? And they're like,
They don't even
they're
answer you?
ghouls.
Of course he's from. Of
Yeah,
course
he's from
Chicago.
Chicago. I'm like,
Of course
get the
he's from
fuck
Chicago.
out of here. I've never seen. He's from an outlying suburb of Chicago.
That's funny.
Have you ever seen one of his water bottles that he designed in Chicago, though, or a leather jogging pant? 'Cause
Nah.
that might have made it in.
No. I never saw any of that shit. And that's not to diss Kanye.
No, yeah.
But it's the motherfucker. I know
Did
the
you read-
Chicago rappers that probably never made it or never will
Right.
make it. But I know them motherfuckers, and we never saw you.
Is Common from Chicago?
Yeah, Common is from motherfucking Chicago.
Right. All right.
R. Kelly?
R. Kelly is from Chicago.
R. Kelly is from the
used to
fourth
beat the
dimension.
drums downtown in front of the
Really?
Yeah, the buildings. Fucking R. Kelly, he just found a way.
Do you guys hear about that concert promoter in Louisiana that was promoting an R. Kelly concert? People paid $150 to go see R. Kelly, and it was a man in an R. Kelly costume with like sunglasses on and a hoodie, so you couldn't really see his face. He was like lip syncing to like 2 R. Kelly songs and then ran out. They just took everybody's money.
You don't think that's common? Let me tell you something, man. I was in Seattle when T.I.'s album T.I. versus T.I.P.
Right.
For the people who know about T.I., they know this album. I was in Seattle, and they had a album release party in Seattle. I was like, wow, T.I.'s in Seattle the day his album gets released?
That's hilarious.
And, I was backstage with it was a radio station behind
Right.
it, a T.I. lookalike.
That is so crazy.
This happens all the time. So we worry about comedians stealing our jokes. Hey, all you rappers out there are people
That's
out there.
really funny. That's like whenever they go the official after party, I'm like, ain't nobody promoting no official after party.
They had these big guys around him, too. So you couldn't get close up on him. So when he went on stage, he just walked on stage. He lip-synced 3 songs.
Amazing.
Now, this guy looked like T.I., except he was a little taller. That's why when I walked up on him, I started laughing. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I mean, and, I met T.I. I won't say I know him like, oh, this is my buddy, but we see each other. We like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
I would never tell him no shit like that because I know he don't give a fuck. But that shit happens. That's common.
That's so crazy.
That is wild. All right, so can I get back to some career stuff?
Yeah, but we never really went anywhere. We
No,
did
all right,
establish
so
that you're
grew
from
up
Chicago. We
Hey,
know
did
you.
you read that thing? There was a thing in the New York Times this week. Most NBA players are from 2-parent homes.
Really?
Yeah. You'd think it, because they were talking about when LeBron said when he won, he was like, I'm not supposed to be here and all that shit. And so the guy just did research from like 1980 on, and it's predominantly two-parent homes.
I guess that makes sense, right? Because you think if it's a 1-parent home, it's usually going to be the mom, and if you think it's who's going to push the kid into basketball, it's going to be
Right.
the dad.
I question that shit right there, but I don't know for sure. But
Yeah,
I put it
no,
like
but
this.
think about it. I mean,
Most
just
NBA
think-
stars come from 1-parent home.
Right, no. Michael Jordan's from a 2-parent home.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson from a 2-parent home. Chris Paul's from a 2-parent home. Not Dwayne Wade, not LeBron.
Dwayne Wade mama was out there in the streets.
Well, the things that they said that were like the things were nutrition, and also 2 parents teaching you to just like you're gonna fail, and then you gotta fucking like a dad's gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna fuck up, and you gotta keep fighting.
Are you from a 2-parent home?
No.
Are you? You are, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know one person growing up that was from a 2-parent home. Not one friend had both parents in the house.
And he grew up in Oakland. Yeah, no,
I don't know if it's
didn't
an
know.
Oakland
I
thing. I think
knew
it was
barely.
I think it's like the new shit. I went to Iceland, and most people don't get married, from what I understand.
Right.
Over
Oh,
there.
just at all? How did you go over in Iceland?
I did a show in Iceland.
How was it?
Fucking rocked, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like, it was shocking to me to find out that everybody speaks English.
Yeah.
When you fucking when you only know English, you're limited.
Right.
Because they'll be like, "Hey, man, great fucking show." Then they'll be talking to their friends. You go, I was like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
That's how it
They're
sounds.
like, "No, you fucking
Laggity.
And you can use profanity while you're on the radio and television.
Wow.
Well, they have 400,000 people. Did you have sex with anyone?
No, I didn't.
See, I want to have sex with an Icelandic woman because when you've done that, you've gone to such a it's such a small amount of people. You have just like I once made out with an Yupik Eskimo, and there's like 2,000 of them in the world. No one I'll ever meet will ever have made out with a Yupik Eskimo.
What the
You could have
fuck?
been in
How
that
did you think of
demographic.
that?
He is really. Here's the thing. Moshe has really narrow goals.
I don't care about comedy. I don't care about making
It's all
it.
about like, yo, but have you ever like?
But have you been with an
Have
Icelandic?
you made
Another
out with
thing
a Martian?
about Iceland that I think is interesting for people to know: you can't insult people over there. You can't. There are things that are punishable by fines. Over here, it's just regular conversation. But you can't look at someone that you don't know and be like, "Fuck you."
Really?
They'll take you to jail for that shit.
Jesus.
It's a ticket.
That's probably why you did so well. You were probably releasing a pressure valve.
Thank God.
Right?
No. If they speak English, I can relate to them because most of my material is about the battle between men and women.
Yeah, right.
Where are you on that, by the way? You grew up in a single with your mother?
Yeah, my mother raised me, even though my pops would stop through every once in a while, get some pussy, shit like that.
From your mom?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they were still...
Looking back, at what age did you realize, like, oh, he's getting some pussy?
I start realizing what was up because we'll talk to him, hey, Dad, and all of a sudden you go in there and close the door.
I need to talk to your mother for a minute.
And then he'll come out for a little while. Yeah, hey.
Okay, bye, kids.
Right.
But let's put a pin in that story. I got to hold on.
Right. So, and that's what I do. So it's like my behavior is inherited.
Oh, but do you have how many? You got kids?
Yeah, I got 2 I know about.
Yeah, you got a couple possible.
Do you have any? How many do you suspect you have?
I'm pretty sure I got 1 out there.
An extra?
When I was a young man in high school. Right as I graduated from high school, I was working at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I fucked my manager. She was so fucking hot.
That's amazing.
And I know that was my kid. She told me, but I didn't know what it meant at the time. She was like, I'm pregnant, but don't worry, I'm going to take care of everything. I thought she wasn't going to have it.
Right.
Then later on, I found out, because she transferred stores, that she had a kid.
Right.
I was like, oh, that fucking bitch. I reached out to her recently, but she won't bring that up.
Interesting.
So
you have
So you actually spoke to her?
Yeah, I found her on some social media shit.
Facebook?
It wasn't Facebook. It was some other shit where you pay like $10 to join.
Match or something?
No, it was, I don't know if it's. I don't know. One of those fucking
KFC employees.
Anyway,
KFC employees.
As I kept hinting about her child, she kind of like shied away from it. But she was married at the time. That's what it was.
She's
not married anymore. And,
that's interesting. Like, how old was she?
I think she was about 27.
Oh, but you have plausible deniability. It might have been her husband. You just can't know.
Well, this is how I'm pretty sure it's mine. There was this guy at the store. He was crazy about her. He fucking loved Vicky. And he used to watch her the whole time. And one day, during that little week, we had our little fuck festival. He saw us look at each other. And he used to always come up and ask me, did you fuck with Vicky? Did you fuck with Vicky? I used to always
Did he
deny
work
it.
there or he was a customer?
He worked there.
Right.
He was a manager also.
Shit.
It was the Colonel.
And so I saw
how
him like
deep
a
the
year
shit gets.
later after I stopped working at Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I was like, oh, what's up, man? He was like, hey, man, did you ever fuck Vicky? Because she had a kid. And you know her and her husband were having problems having kids. I was like, fuck, yeah, I think that's my kid.
Dude, your dirty business might have given that family the cement that they needed to carry on.
Ain't that amazing?
He feels like a man now.
But I'm not an evil person, but I really would love to just walk in there and burn that shit down. Like, hey,
burn their whole
by the
family
way.
unit
how you
down?
doing, young man?
I'm comedian Corey Holcomb.
Let me explain something to you. We can do this on camera
Oh, so you
and
don't
get
think
paid for it.
you don't think the guy knows? The kid knows. He probably
I'm sure he
thinks the
doesn't
other-
know because
right.
I know Vicky.
Right.
Vicky was a slick bitch.
Right now, there's a kid somewhere in Illinois going, "My mom's Vicky. She worked at a Kentucky Fried."
Well, this is what I've always wanted. I've noticed about guys. So you have issues with women. I have issues with women.
Everybody has issues with
everybody. Women have. Nobody has more issues with women than women.
Well, women also have issues with men.
Agreed.
Men are the worst.
Men are a giant. But your act is about.
All we want is some pussy and to get fed.
Yeah, I will
That's
say
all
that
we
men
really
are
want.
far more simplistic than women.
Yeah, but we also rape women. I mean,
Yeah,
Where?
but that's.
where?
What did
That
you say?
doesn't happen, does
At a
it?
Kentucky Fried Chicken bathroom.
I don't
Vicky.
think
Shout out to Vicky.
rape is rare nowadays. Pussy is so easy to come by. All you need is a
Rape
little.
is rare nowadays. Did you know that?
not
rape,
rare.
No.
It is
Rape
not
is.
rare.
Look at the rape stats, Moshe.
Because they've gone down doesn't
Percentage.
make them rare.
What's rare? Define rare.
I can't define
You
rare,
don't wanna
but
go
I
to
wouldn't-
jail
but I wouldn't
as a
define it
rapist.
As rape.
But what do you're basing it on nothing.
No, you're basing it on nothing.
I'm basing it on statistics.
that say that the rate of sexual assault has gone down over the years. That doesn't
Right.
make it anywhere near rare. I'm sure that that racism has gone down over the years, but it's still not rare.
You don't want to go to
Yeah,
jail
I
for
would.
being a petty thief.
Why not?
Fucking with children.
Petty.
or
Why
rapist.
not petty thief?
because you're looked at as a motherfucker that ain't shit amongst people in jail. Like,
Right.
anything comes up missing, you fucking did it. Where's the fucking thief? He did it.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're a pedophile, you know,
it's a wrap.
You get fucked up.
And
jail.
do guys, can you lie about what you're in for? Do you know?
How the fuck? The last thing you want to do is lie about what you're in for, because trust me, somebody who works in the office upstairs is going to tell the people what are you in there for.
I'm sure that especially if you're a pedophile.
Oh,
you're
a fucking pedophile.
Oh, by the way, that guy is a pedophile. In case anybody
do
wanted
with
to murder
this,
him.
do whatever you want to do with this information. It's none of my business. Just so you know,
Look,
he's a
I
pedophile.
don't want you to murder
nobody
the guy.
likes a pedophile.
Right.
Literally, nobody likes anybody who would fucking prey on kids.
Another
pedophile.
I mean,
Professional
Even
therapist.
pedophiles don't like that. You fucking asshole. At least she was 9. You fucked a 4-year-old.
I've got standards, goddammit.
Hey, at least there was hair growing a little on the pussy.
Have you ever gone to jail?
Of course.
Have you ever fucked a child?
No.
What'd you go to jail
for? Shoplifting.
Oh, you petty thief motherfucker. Get off our
So you know
podcast.
But I was actually proud of what I used to do, as crazy as it sounds, because I made good money. We would go into like the grocery stores, and we would steal all of the Tylenol and shit like that off the shelf, and we would sell it to the Indian stores, and we made good money doing that.
The Indian stores?
Like the stores owned by that dude.
Right.
Oh,
the right, the
not,
dude who,
not an
the
Icelandic
dude off
store.
7-Eleven.
Yeah.
No, Icelandic is more.
No,
Well,
that's
Indian is more. Right, yeah.
Right, and women are like, no.
Don't rape me.
Anyway, we would do this shit.
How big was your crew?
It was 3 of us.
All right.
But I got caught because I started listening to my homeboys. Corey, it's this one store. I'm like, no, let's stick to this store. We know their security system. You know what I mean?
How big? What? Like a Walgreens or something you'd steal from?
It was like a Jewel drugstore. Everybody
Right.
from Chicago knows Jewel. It's like the main chain. Like out
Yeah,
here
no, I
in
grew up
LA,
in
it's
Chicago,
like
yeah.
Ralph's. You know,
Yeah.
it's the grocery. But we knew their security. We
Right.
knew how their security worked. But I'm listening to my friend, and we went to this other grocery chain, this Omni.
Yep.
And they had the fucking videotape of us getting out of the car.
They started it when you arrived.
Oh, my
you
God. I was
on
like,
your own single.
They started running tape right when you got there.
Hey, man, that fucking lawyer came back there like, you don't want to fight this.
Man, that's
you don't want to fight it. They got the DVD, motherfucker.
Is it true that in order to stop someone for shoplifting, they have to have seen you put it in your pocket?
No.
I doubt that.
Because I've heard that from people.
What I have heard is that in order for you to get in trouble, you have to have left the store.
Well, that's not true either.
No?
I heard it was both. I heard it was you got to take. They have to see it, then they have to see you leave.
Well, let's
Neal,
ask the guy that's been to jail for shoplifting.
Go ahead, convicted shoplifter.
Whether it's shoplifting, murder, drunk driving, who gets caught determines how bad the penalty will be.
Oh, for sure. Right.
Right.
It's always who got caught. Let me tell you, especially in California, if you have the right representation, you can murder somebody and get away with it. It's just a fine.
A fine?
It's
How
just
much
a
is
fine.
it?
You pay. Well, your people are going to know the judge, and you know.
Well, yeah, that's where it's.
They're
like
going to
that.
get you out of trouble because you're connected with someone who's in the system, or you have this lawyer that's connected. So it's always everything in this country is always who you know.
Yeah.
That's why it was always so curious to me that white people didn't understand at any level why people were so happy when OJ got off. It's like, because isn't it obvious to you that finally this is the other cheek has been the shoes on the other foot?
Yeah, it was and the thing I always tell people, people weren't necessarily OJ fans.
Right. They were like, hey, killed her. That was bad.
Yeah, OJ wasn't like that beloved in the black community at
He
that
wasn't
point.
because he was more of, I want to be accepted in the Caucasian community. He was one of those guys.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about OJ. It was just about people were tired of seeing black people get the bad end of the stick in court cases.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody was happy.
Right. And that's what, and it's like, yeah, that's a great example of having money. Just have money, get like a fucking team of dudes, pay whatever. Like, money's no object, and you will get away with murder.
Dude, I was listening to this episode of This American Life this week called After the Flood, about the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Have you guys ever heard this? I'm sure you've already heard about what happened, but it was so crazy that they were talking about, they had the entire police force
standing on the bridge,
and there were like old women being wheeled up and like warning shots being fired into the air, like
with shotguns, like whatever parish is across.
Dry electricity,
dry
water,
electricity, and white people.
Well, you know about the people in Mississippi, right on the other side of the bridge. They had their guns out.
That's what we're talking. We're all talking the same thing.
They weren't just the police. They were the citizens.
Yeah.
That's why when people say racism doesn't exist in this country and everything, I don't know if they're naive or just evil.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Really? You know,
or both. Or
I think they're just willfully ignorant.
Yeah, willfully ignorant.
I think they don't like the idea that racism exists.
Yeah.
So they just go, no, I don't see it.
It's almost like if you want to, you don't believe racism exists, wait till there's a flood. I mean, literally, wait till shit gets crazy.
And I believe that bridge was broken on purpose, especially if you watch that Spike Lee.
The levee, yeah.
Oh, that the levee was broken on purpose. Well, that was the thing. Listening to this episode, is you could hear people were reporting their own experiences, and they were going. You could hear them going, "Well, I felt like the government wanted to kill us," and then you could hear them doubting their own thing. It's like you could hear both things. You could hear the plausibility of that belief and also their own doubt. And like,
if you know anything about New Orleans at that time, it's like once you leave the tourist district, New Orleans in that area was hood like a motherfucker. It was a whole bunch of poor people. So in order to take advantage of that property out there, they fucking flooded it out.
Right.
I think the same thing happened with the Towers 9/11. You know
they wanted real estate.
They wanted a reason to do what they wanted to do in Iraq.
What about you,
personally
Neal?
don't. You know, I don't believe 9/11 was an Iraq thing. I think it was like they used it, but I don't think that they did it to go to Iraq because I think they could have gone anyway.
My thing with 9/11 is I'm a Jew, so none of us died, and we all got a call. But but
it's the same. So the next paragraph is they did it for Iraq, and they called all the Jews. Tons of Jews died in 9/11.
I know.
Yeah, they work downtown in those buildings.
I know a Jew that died in 9/11. He was deaf, so he might have gotten the call but missed it. It is possible. But I don't believe that it was an inside job. I also have a very tough time believing that those towers collapsed.
I was just going to say, do you really believe that an airplane could knock down a building?
Very difficult to believe that an airplane could knock down a building so perfectly twice.
That's what I'm saying. Are you fucking serious?
Like one time it didn't kind of fall to the right or like something bad. I mean, it's pretty nothing.
It's a fucking joke.
It's hard to believe.
Look, I believe that it was they didn't do tests for jet fuel to burn.
So it was one of the luckiest breaks that a terrorist ever got.
It's the greatest. It's like Villanova winning the fucking. It's like the Bad News Bears. They were basically the Bad News Bears winning the World Series.
Can you imagine the party in the cave that night, if that's true, where they were just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, they had video of him going like, "Fucking the thing fell over." Like he's literally going like,
"It's like a Seinfeld."
It's like when Michael Jordan.
There's no fucking way that those guys, if they were in the plane,
right?
Because everything most people know is what they saw on the news.
Yeah,
which. Right. Come on, we're
the
Hollywood.
Greatest. I love.
We know the fucking news is the biggest fucking joke in the world.
All right, well, that's what I would say, Corey. My question was, all right, so you know about you think that New Orleans was flooded out just to get black people out.
Nothing is an act of God.
How
like
much?
That.
So, how much of your life do you find yourself going like, I'm being fucked over? How much of how much racial leeway? Do you feel, or not racial leeway? I guess it's like, how big of a consideration is it?
Well, listen, it's not only just black people getting fucked over.
Right.
This country's leadership has trained everybody to fuck over everybody.
Yeah, that's
capitalism.
As soon as
you walk out of your front door, it begins.
Yes.
If you're lucky enough to get where you got to go and back home without getting fucked over that bad, congratulations.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put gas in your car, you're getting fucked over. No, everybody's robbing you.
Right. Yeah. It's the system. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, that we all think about communism as a failed experiment, but it seems like possible that communism is just an experiment that was tried too early. Like, there's no way that capitalism can sustain itself like that. It's not possible. Poor people, there's more of them every day, and they're poorer every day. And rich people, there's less of them, and they're richer. Eventually, that system will topple. That can't go on forever.
It's not proven. It's not a proven system. Capitalism is not a proven system. Everybody acts like it is. The other thing is...
there are people in charge of this who are... This is what people don't give them credit for. They're wickedly brilliant.
Right.
None of this shit is coincidence that's happening, and it's happening just the way the people who are in charge want it to happen.
See, that's
even Barack Obama. It's a joke to me. All of this stuff that I mean, like I wasn't in New York, but my friend told me how they were celebrating in the streets of Harlem when Barack Obama got
banging pots and pans.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm like, they don't understand.
Right.
He wouldn't be there if he wasn't part of the game.
Oh, everything's the
He's
same.
just a dude.
Everything's
Yeah.
regular. He's just a politician.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
a
people
little
don't
better.
want to realize he's just a politician.
Yeah.
And they're awful.
The problem with him, though, and this is why he's going to die young,
Please.
because you see the conflict in his eyes every time he talks. When he's talking, I see it. It's
he's
like
a smart dude. That's the thing.
Right.
He's not immoral. He's not an immoral guy.
I know where he lived in Chicago, and people get killed over there. Like the neighborhood he's from is blocked off. Ever since he's been in office, that neighborhood is blocked off. But it's hood. He stays where you can't go to the gas station.
That's what
without
Michelle said
motherfuckers
on
over there.
60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Michelle said that shit. I believe that's what got black people on their side. Is they were on 60 Minutes and they're like, "Are you worried about getting assassinated?" She's like, "He's black. He can get assassinated going to get gas."
Yeah.
Like-
where he used to live is a place where they have nice homes, but it's still in the
Right.
hood.
It's like
And-
where Farrakhan lives. Is that?
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah.
So Farrakhan lives in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, Farrakhan's. Well, it's not necessarily
It's
a
not
bad
bad,
neighborhood,
but it's-
right there in that little
It's
center
bad
where they
neighborhood
are.
adjacent.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to get Farrakhan on the podcast.
In order to get to like the expressway, you probably got to go through a hood.
Yeah. You got to go through the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
yeah, he's not an immoral guy.
And that shit that happened with the kid who got shot with the hood,
Trayvon,
Martin,
yeah.
and he went on there and he said what he had to say when that guy was acquitted.
Yeah.
The reason he did that because he has to wake up every day to that woman who knows that was some bullshit. And when you live with a woman who looks at you cowardly, it like ages you because you see it. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
she doesn't accept me. So that's the reason he did
I
that.
always say that. I always say Michelle is the one who
She
keeps
can't
him.
smile it off the same way
I know.
he does.
She's like she doesn't like politics.
Can't you see it?
I know, and she said in an interview. And the other thing is, you can just fucking tell she's not buying it. She's a 50-year-old black woman.
Yeah.
Like she's just not fucking buying that shit.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, and I don't even think it's like it's not as deliberate as I think we're saying. It's like in order to get there, once you have to have made 1,000 infinite little compromises.
It's death by
Like,
1,000 cuts is the term.
That's right. You get there, and all of a sudden you're a different man than you were when you started running, and you don't even see how you got there. And then to stay there, shit. I mean, it's impossible to govern.
Well, you go through the same thing in the entertainment business because
Right.
you're going to be out here in the beginning trying to find your feet. And when you find your feet, you don't want to lose it. So what you're willing to do to stay in that position where you don't have to be back out there amongst the riffraff
Yeah.
Right.
is amazing. And
Right.
that's what somebody really needs to write a book on, or they probably already have, to stay in the elite group.
I call it the winner circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do some shit that a lot of times is against your moral compass, but you fucking do it, and then it doesn't hurt as bad as you thought it would.
Right.
And then you can do it. It's easy to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I feel happened to Barack Obama.
Do you feel so?
And Cat Williams.
How much of your?
Yeah.
I don't. I think Cat's
just kidding.
I think Cat's just off.
I love Cat Williams, but
So do I.
That's a
let me
brilliant
tell you something.
comedian.
Cat didn't change. Cat was always crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
He was always
He
just,
was able to focus it in the right way for like a year and a half.
The dude
Yeah.
is funny. No one fucks a stool like
Okay,
Cat Williams.
so his stool game is bananas. That's the joke.
on the top level.
I
His stool
think I
game
know
is-
what you guys are talking
His
about.
stool game is absolutely bananas.
He's
He
a
does shit
savant.
to the stool that no one's ever done
No one's
before.
ever
He
thought of doing.
rides the stool from the side. No one had ever done that.
I think I know what y'all talking about. That's fucked up. I never thought
No,
of
he took the stool game. That will be his legacy. Is his stool game.
There'll be a
How
stool on his
much
grave.
of your day-to-day life is how different would your life be if you were white? that may be
I
too
can't-
broad
but
a question.
I can't answer that honestly because I don't know. But I notice things that Caucasian people do that even if they are morally good, you still take advantage of shit because it's there for you.
Right.
You can't help it. That's why I say the leadership in this country is the reason things are the way they are because, they want it to stay this way.
Right.
Where people like, I know all white people are not prejudiced.
Right.
I don't feel that way at all.
Right.
Because I've met white people that I'm like, you know what? This is a stand-up motherfucker.
Right.
He's more stand-up than some of the motherfuckers I know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That are my color. But in this country, man, we're all pitted against each other. There was a term that someone told me. I can't think of the name of it, but it's all done on purpose.
Right.
It's done on purpose because at the top, it's really just a whole bunch of rich motherfuckers who are in control of this game, and they're going to make sure that this shit works perfectly into an experiment of bullshit for all the motherfuckers who are not elite, who are not at the top.
Who do you think that is?
A bunch of
Don't say
middle-aged Caucasian men.
No, I'm just kidding.
Just a bunch of middle-aged.
They ain't
Caucasian-
middle-aged.
No, 'cause what I
They ain't
wonder-
middle-aged.
You don't think so?
They're
No,
old.
they're old because
No,
you
what I
can't get
wonder-
money. That kind of money you're talking about is it's
So what keeps it going?
familial.
It's money.
It's
That's my
money.
opinion. Is
No, I'm talking about like their Ivy League school graduates. You're talking about they're the ones that this type of knowledge of how to keep things in chaos, it's passed down to them and they go with
I
it.
don't think it's even that. I
think if you went to those people, let's say there were 4 of them here, and you really grilled them, made them take a lie detector test about whether or not they thought what they were doing was moral, I believe most of them would pass. I don't think that there's a group of people that are like, we're here
I don't
to
believe
ruin
there's an
some
Illuminati.
shit.
I
We're
don't believe
trying
there's
to
a new
hurt.
world order. I don't believe in any of that shit. I believe that I believe Americans especially are so competitive that they will do anything. I feel like I'm crazy because I go like, I might, if I have enough money, I think I would just give the rest of it away as I was making it. Like, whereas most rich people hoard it's like, I call it like carnival tickets. It's like, what are you going to do with it? It's fucking garbage to you after a while. It's just like, I'm fucking winning. It's
Yeah.
just the way to keep score.
But it's also
There
the
are
whole
people like that.
It's the whole. It's all of us,
dude.
though.
All the people you're talking about. It's like Rupert Murdoch has enough money to last literally a billion lifetimes, and won't come off that shit.
What's sad about it that people don't even realize is the people who have money like that, they write the legislation.
Oh,
so when
absolutely.
people talk about change laws, I laugh at that shit. I'm like, it's
Yeah, it's
not
like-
the laws. The people on top make this shit up as they go.
Yeah, they just hire lobbyists, and then the lobbyists pay to get people elected. And they go, here, they literally the lobbyists write the law up and give it to the senator. And the senator goes,
That's
what do I say? Okay, I said just say this, and you're going to give me how much for my reelection?
Right.
That's the
I
great.
can't do anything else.
That's a great joke of American democracy or democracy in general. It's like you go here, you go into the hood, and there's a kid there that's like, well, I'm hungry, and you go, we don't have enough money for school lunches. Well, son, get involved. Oh, okay. So that kid's gonna go write some legislation, get 100,000 signatures, bring it to his congressman. All of a sudden, years later, there's fucking pork that's been added onto it, and he's just still like, but what about?
Right, it literally
I'm still hungry,
goes to
though.
that
Where's
thing.
my food?
No, I know, but that goes to that thing that from that NBA article. It's like, literally, you don't get to be 6'10" unless you have decent nutrition.
Right. Well, that was the thing about that Russell Brand
Oh,
thing.
you think that's true? I can't believe that. When you're 6'10", you're a freak of nature.
Right.
It's not a normal thing for a human being to be 6'10" and taller. Have you ever stood next
I agree,
to Shaq?
but it's
It's
crazy.
like, this
I
guy's
always
a
tell
freak.
people it's like he's in another room. It's like he's on a balcony when you're next to Shaq. It's like, it's the proof of the thing is nutrition got better in China. There were like no people over 6'10", and then as Chinese nutrition took over, they all started shooting up.
Wow, that's crazy to think that nutrition has something to do with it. It's just, and this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're a giant, but in this country and other countries as well, they have something for you. It's called sports. Because when you're 7 feet, even if you suck, because there's a lot of guys in the NBA who are 6'10" and taller who cannot play, but because of their height, they're able to excel. They're able to excel at that game. So it's like, I think when you're that tall, it's the luck of the draw, and it's not a good thing because when you're 7 feet, you normally die young.
Yeah. Goes back to the Great Dane thing.
It's still a regular heart.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What do you think if size comes from nutrition? Where does funny come from?
A lack of emotional nutrition.
What do you think?
Oh, that's good. I think all of the talents are luck. Some people are born
birth luck.
They're funny. Some people are born with a fetish to fuck kids, like the pedophile.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you have. What are you going to do with it? You know what I mean? Because comedy can be used as a bad thing nowadays. Some of the stuff they take you to jail for, I'm like, wow, well, I can go to jail for saying what I said. If you really think about the way they're writing this legislation up as it goes, they have legislation out here where if a child – now look, this is what I'm saying, because I know some guys who are on that pedophile list who've never really done anything like that. But I know a guy who was pissing
in a child's
alley.
mouth.
He was pissing in an alley.
Yeah.
But it was across the street from a grammar school. He's not knowing that it's a grammar school over there like that, or if somebody's watching them take a piss.
Right.
But his problem was he took the piss and he was still hanging around there. And
like you do
teacher,
after you take a piss.
Right.
Yeah.
Called the police on him. They took him to jail and they put him on that list.
What about
Wow.
your story does fall apart when you say he was just
stuck around.
hanging around.
Well, it's like he's a local guy from that area. You know what I mean? He's always lived over there. So, he's walking around the neighborhood. He takes a piss. Next thing you know, the police pull him over. And he was like, man, they charged me with that pedophile shit. I have to register when I move and all that shit.
That's what they call a nightmare.
That is a nightmare.
Your life could be ruined.
All right.
For taking a piss.
One piss.
All right. So how many kids in your family?
You mean my brothers and sisters? Yeah. I got 2 brothers, 2 sisters with my mom.
And
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah. And then okay, so where are you with women right now? Overall.
I honestly think women have issues with emotions. Most of them. I'm never saying all women, but I'm saying most women have issues with emotion. The government realizes this. So they have written legislation to help them still walk the streets as credible citizens. That's what I feel the whole woman thing is about. But
Please
most
explain.
of them who come from poor communities are willing to fuck for a few dollars. So
not explicitly, but they're trying to fuck somebody who's got some means.
yeah, if you have a car, maybe about $80, $90 to offer, you can get the cream of the crop.
Have you? Yeah, I feel like you found that to be the truth.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you're a stand-up comedian, man, you meet women in all types of cities. You start to know what's what over here. Where am I? I'm in the South. I got to get a bitch some sweet tea.
So you have you're like a profiler. You know what all these girls want.
Yeah, damn. I've never heard it that way, but yeah, I guess you're right. I could look at you and maybe I'm wrong sometimes, but a lot of times I'm on point.
Right.
Have you ever been married?
I'm married now.
Fantastic. How's that?
My wife is different. You know, my wife, she knows how the fuck life really goes. She's not stupid. My wife is the type of woman who realizes how men operate.
Right.
It's just, I feel like she would be disappointed if she found out I had some girl I was communicating with.
Right.
Because cheating is, in this country, it's like when you go fuck somebody else.
Right.
But the truth is, in my opinion, and I think my wife thinks like this, cheating is when you sit down and you talk with someone. You share your life with someone. You give somebody more than, hey, bitch, how much?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wait, let me just to clarify. You're saying in your feeling that's not cheating.
Well, I'm saying the physical.
Just physically fucking is not cheating to him or his wife.
Yeah, because I'm not interested in no bitches out here. I'm not interested in getting to know you like that, and I don't sell you dreams of getting to know you like that. What I'm trying to do is skeet and skedaddle. That's my thing.
Skeet and skedaddle.
Skeet and skedaddle.
I think that was Obama that first said.
No, he bit it off me if he said it.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in meeting new people. It's too hard. It takes a long time for me to get to know you like I need to know you and understand who you are. It's not worth the time and effort for me at this point in my life.
Can your wife skeet and skedaddle?
No, and I've never caught her doing anything.
Is
like
she allowed
that.
to?
No.
But you are?
I'm not saying I'm allowed to, but I'm just saying realistically in this country, men get a girl, take her out of the streets, put her in his house. They might even take care of her. You know what I mean? But they go around and they fuck around and they don't expect their girl to fuck around.
Right.
That may not be right in someone's eyes, but that's the way it goes.
Why?
Well, if someone's fucking your girl, it can disrupt your household in a way where it can't be fixed. Because if your girl's pregnant by another guy, because I'm not going to get pregnant.
Right. You might get that AIDS pregnancy, though.
Yeah, that can happen, too. All that comes with fucking around out there in the streets. You know, but there's ways to protect yourself from AIDS and stuff like that.
Right.
But when somebody's fucking your girl, they're going to disrupt your house. In a lot of ways, you know, women are not men. And people, I think that
in almost every
they need
way.
to have classes about this. A vagina can be disrupted by multiple penises.
That is not true.
A vagina can be corrupted. I'm talking about corrupted from one man. Corrupted from...
I got to ride with Corey on this.
Wait. Hold on. Are you talking physically?
With you, man.
I had a girl back in the day, and we used to fuck around, and I knew her. And I knew something was different about her. And she would always tell me, no, I'm not fucking around with anybody else. One day I was in her room, and, you know, I was just acting silly, and I fell under the bed. And then I looked under the bed, and there was this dildo with the little buzzer thing on it. I was like, this is what it is. And I kept asking her, how long have you had this? And it was around the time I started figuring out something was different. A vagina can get corrupted.
Are you talking about physically?
Yeah, physically. That's what I'm saying. Of course, I was talking about the children and other things that can come.
And also emotionally, I think you're talking about, too.
When you met your wife, how old were you?
Moshe pretends that men and women are exactly equal.
No, I don't. I just don't happen to.
What did he say? I'm sorry.
I said Moshe pretends that men and women are exactly equal.
I'm just not a caveman.
No. And I can take it when people call me caveman or whatever, but a woman is different than a man, and people need to stop acting like everybody's created equal, because they're not.
I don't disagree with you that the physiological, natural state of a man is much more prone to going around and just fucking random people than a woman. That a woman's emotion, and this isn't true across the board for
generally
either gender,
speaking.
But generally speaking, a man, I know me, I can fuck a million girls and not catch feelings for any of them, and my girl does not have that relationship with love and sex. It's just a different thing. But what I'm saying is, morally speaking, if you're allowed to fuck around, or men are allowed to fuck around, then it isn't right that a woman isn't allowed to do that too, because of our notions of what her gender will or won't do. But then, I'm also anyway. I'll stop.
No, let me say this: do you realize women are safe in this society because of the laws that are created?
Women are not safe.
Well, I'm saying
women are way safer.
Right. A girl can
okay.
leave her apartment, get in her car, and drive to the store and come home, because there are laws that will basically have you locked the fuck up if you touch one of these random women. But if there wasn't laws like that, women would get kidnapped and done all kinds of things too, because a man is a man and a woman is a woman. You don't really realize that because of the way society protects women.
I mean, I don't think that there's literally zero value in what you're saying, but
yeah, Corey, I had to get off on that. I'm not riding with you. Now I'm walking on the sidewalk.
But he's not riding with me either.
But
I'm not riding with either,
Not in
yo.
my car.
I'm still.
You're watching what's happening.
We're all on the same street.
There's some interesting shit going on
absolutely.
over there.
Yeah.
I love women. I believe that the only way we can be a better society is if we prepare our women better. I mean, if women are not
This
out in
goes to an argument that I had with a friend of mine. Me and Chris Rock were arguing with a girl about
your friend was Chris Rock?
No, it was another friend of mine, a girl. We were arguing with a girl about basically men being pigs. And Rock was saying, he's like, I explain to my daughters all the time, men are stronger than you. You have to approach all men with the knowledge that they're stronger than you. Like, you can't, that's what you're basically saying. And Rock goes, now Queen Latifah can beat the shit out of me. He's like, which is why I approach her a certain way.
Hey, that's real, though.
Yeah.
But see, in this country, the woman is always the victim. And it's really a bad thing for the women because they become, aware like, oh, no matter what, I can fuck up. I can fuck a guy's husband, like what happened with Tiger Woods. They glorified those whores. You know what I mean? They had them all on television acting like, oh, they're victims of Tiger Woods.
They were victims. Meanwhile, it's not
They're
like they didn't know
whores.
who he was. Yeah,
They're awful people. They're homewreckers, and nobody says this.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, it's like, no, they just met. They just thought he was some weird, dorky black
They're
dude.
the
They were
scum
fucking.
of society.
Well, they're not doing anything different than what anyone who's cheating is doing.
I agree.
A man.
But don't
Right,
act like
but the
But don't
press
act like
made it
it's
seem
okay
like
for
They're
they
victims.
somehow are victimized.
Let me
Right.
just push back a little bit because the first part of our conversation was about how society is stacked up against poor people and people of color. And that people of color are the victims of a system of oppression. And then at the same time say, now women, on the other hand, they are the benefactors of like this wonderful system.
the system uses the woman to do their dirty work because they know that if you're a heterosexual male, you're going to fuck with a woman. And they have it now where your woman can go to them with any type of burden she has, and they're going to lock you up off of what she says. And if you're lucky enough to have a lawyer of power, then maybe you can sort it out later on. But your woman has more rights than you, especially in marriage.
Right. And, I've heard what I've heard is that false rape accusations are a problem, but they're not even statistically anywhere near the problem
Of actual rape.
what rape
Yeah.
is. So if men are the victims of laws that are naturally tend towards believing women because of how much violence there is against women, then that's just sort of collateral.
Do you really think
collateral damage.
there's more violence against women than women having committed violence against men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're wrong on that. And if you know anything about the prison system, there's more women going to jail than there are men because bitches are crazy.
I believe you're just
Corey,
making that
that's
up.
you're 1,000% wrong.
Let's Google it.
I'll Google it. I'm gonna Google. Do you want to do the honors, Moshe, or should I do that?
Hey, listen. Prison guards will tell you controlling the women is a lot harder than controlling the men.
Oh, I don't doubt that. That I agree with. That I believe.
Women are
believe.
fucking maniacs. A woman will slap you and look at you like you're wrong when you slap them back. I'm a witness to this.
There was a thing in Dr. J's. Dr. J just wrote a book, and he was saying that his wife used to beat the shit out of him.
I'm sure that
Dr. J, the basketball player?
Yeah.
And if he
couldn't
slaps
hit back.
her.
He couldn't hit back. He goes, I knew I couldn't hit back.
Yeah, that's not right.
I mean, I'll agree with you on that. But wait,
Because I hit back.
let's go.
I do not like a bully. I do not like anybody who will beat up someone smaller than them, especially when I see a man
Nobody's
fighting
smaller
a
than
woman.
Everybody's smaller than Dr. J. I mean, I imagine
Dr.
his wife
J's
was.
hands were like Shaq hands. I don't know if you ever shook Shaq hands, but it's awkward.
Yeah.
That's how
It
big his
disappears.
hand, right?
It disappears
It's
into-
awkward. I mean, I'm no little guy, but I shook his hand. I was like, what
Yeah,
the
you feel like a
fuck?
bitch. You feel like a bitch.
But back on this whole woman being the victim thing, in my opinion, most women are predators, and they've been trained that way. They've been trained that way. They try you. They talk to you in ways where even though they know, okay, this guy's bigger than me, this guy can knock the shit out of me with one punch, they'll still run up on you because they know they have that system to run to.
Well, okay, but wait. Let's go back 5 steps.
How are you married?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because my wife is realistic. My wife is not the average bitch out here who fucking thinks that somebody owes her something. My wife is smart. She's intelligent. She reminds me of this guy a little bit. Because her mom,
because I'm only one step away from being knocked down unconscious.
Her mom is a little short Jewish woman.
Oh,
but
great.
her dad is black, so she's mixed.
Oh, interesting.
And I like the way that she has something to say. She has something to say. She's not average, et cetera, et cetera.
I can't find the stats, but there's no way. I mean,
were you saying that women? I think forgetting all this victimization stuff, you weren't saying that. You were saying a woman's physical pussy can be physically destroyed by a dick.
No, that's not what I was saying.
You weren't
what
saying
I was
that. You were saying psychologically.
No, not psychologically.
All right.
What I was saying about the physical is, if a woman is with multiple guys,
okay,
one of the guys is a pity mission. Can you understand what I'm saying when I say that?
No, keep talking. I'm almost with you.
When a woman is out there and her vagina is experiencing all kinds of men,
okay,
one man would never be enough for her again, because she's seen something that, in my opinion, a woman who's trying to be with one guy, it's like she's damaged. So it's harder for that one guy, like later on in life, if she tries to be with one guy, it's going to be that much harder for that one guy, because he's taking on all of the shit that happened to her before.
But wait, was your wife a virgin when you met her?
Hell no. My wife has history.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
You know what I mean?
Theoretically, if you marry an adult, they all have history.
Right, but I'm a different motherfucker.
Go on. What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, not like I'm trying to say I'm some hellified stud, but what I am saying is mentally, I think that I can deal with her, and physically I think that I can deal with her. But it's still, in my opinion, she's still a woman. She's still the type who goes off the deep end on her emotions, and I look at it like, fuck, this fucking crazy woman.
And what do? Put her in a shed for 3 days?
I murder her. I take her to Saudi Arabia and murder her.
Can't do that anymore. But you know, we've had our battles. I'll put it like this, and when it becomes physical, she knows you can't win. I don't need to fuck up with this guy.
Did you do shit physically to your kids, or were you just all mental?
I never grew up around my kids.
Got it.
I would always visit my kids.
Got it.
My kids grew up around their moms, and I'm lucky on that end, because my daughter is an A student at Northern Illinois University.
Oh, great.
And my son, he's a bright little boy. Of course, my daughter I was worried about her because her mom was a lousy bitch, but I was a younger guy. I didn't know. You know, I was just fucking with lousy bitches, and I wound up getting one of them pregnant.
Define lousy bitch.
Bitch with a long dick up in her history. A lot of guys fucked her. Nothing really going for her. When I met her, she was working for a temporary agency, and my daughter is 20 now, and she still does temporary work. Just a lousy bitch going nowhere.
And too many dudes don't hung dick up in there?
Yeah, in my opinion.
But wait,
right.
That's the part I'm sort of fascinated by. What does that matter?
What do you mean, what does it matter?
That part. About whether they fucked a bunch of people or not.
Well,
I mean,
my daughter knows about.
You know what's great about this? I'm on
mom's-
both of your sides.
Yeah.
My daughter knows about her mom's history. My daughter has called me and said there's a guy who's living with us now. She said there's another guy living with us now, and he eats up everything in the refrigerator, and he doesn't work, and he just sits around playing the video game all day. And I've never shitted on my daughter's mother to my daughter. I never talked shit about her because I knew the truth would be seen. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I say lousy bitch, it's justified. And I think that like guys like you, it's nothing bad, but you compare but what about what you do? She's not me. I'm a man.
But okay, fine. Why?
Nobody's going to take nothing from me out there in the streets. I'm not going to get raped.
Okay, so your basic premise is because of the physical weakness of the woman and the physical strength of the man, that the woman is relegated to certain roles and the man is relegated to certain roles.
It's not just strength. It's also the emotional shit they go through. Women, in my opinion, need a man. But most of them, once they figure a man out, and especially if they fucked around with a whole bunch of men, they lose respect for men. And their history on this planet, it's not for me to point out everything about them. They know who they are. Whores are whores, but they come across like ladies, and they want respect, just like those girls we were talking about with Tiger Woods. Those women feel like they should be treated like women, but they're not women. They're whores. They're whores. They disrupt communities. You can have a family. Like I'm saying, I'm not making Tiger Woods the victim. Tiger Woods, in my opinion, is a punk motherfucker.
Wait, why? He didn't do anything differently than you?
No, but he got caught, and he called the girl and was like trying to confide in the girl to be his friend. If I get caught, I'm going to talk to my wife. I'm going to say, look, this bitch that I was fucking with, I know I fucked up, but look, this bitch, we're going to have to deal with her. That's what makes somebody look like a punk to me. When you talking to the enemy? You should be talking to your wife. That's how I look at it, which is why, in my opinion, he was married to somebody that chased him down the street with a fucking golf club and left him, you know what I'm saying, when that shit went public. In my opinion, that's when, you need your spouse to stay with you. But I feel like she was just there for the hustle. She was a maid bitch. She was a maid for the other golfer.
You
and
should
he
have.
wifed
yes,
the
for
bitch.
part of it.
You should have been a pimp.
I should have been a pimp? Why?
Yeah, you really have the mentality of a pimp.
No, I know what he.
Why do you say that? Like, in my opinion, a pimp is a person who takes advantage of women.
Okay.
I never take advantage of women. I always tell women the truth. The only woman I ever lied to was my wife. That is the only woman I ever lied to. Like, especially as I've gotten older as a man.
How long have you been with your wife?
I've known her for probably about 16 years, but we've been married for 10 years.
10 years, that's a long time.
And, when I was a younger guy, you know what I'm saying? I might lie here and there to a woman, but I always felt fucked up after that shit was over because as a man, as soon as you get you bust your nut, it's like you really hate the bitch. Cause especially if you took her out and all that shit, you don't like her, you just did all that shit to fuck. So I don't lie to bitches. I tell bitches what it is, and they still fuck around because they think they're going to capture me.
Well, what would you do if you found out that you came home and you found out your wife was like, "Hey, I have to tell you something. I fucked somebody on my business."
I would be
trip."
shocked.
Right.
I would be totally shocked.
I mean, I doubt it. I believe that.
No, but that question gets thrown around like, what if your wife did it, or
No,
what
I'm
if
just
your
curious,
girl
what
did
would
it?
your
I would be
emotional
shocked
reaction be?
because I believe that I'm smart enough to know who I'm around.
Mm-hmm. But she got drunk and fucked somebody all of a sudden one night.
Drunk means nothing. People are who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They do what they do. And when they make the first, let me tell you something. I want to say this to everybody who listens to this. If you're around somebody and they get caught doing something wrong, if they say, well, if you would have been doing what you're supposed to do, I wouldn't have did that. Get the fuck away from that person.
Agreed.
You cannot fix anything with a person who tries to turn it around and act like you made them fuck up.
No, but the statistic is that something like 60% of men and 40% of women cheat. So it's not like cheating goes directly down gender lines. And women cheat and men cheat.
I don't know where you guys get these statistics from, but I really feel like they're wrong.
What do you think?
I think about 90% of men cheat. Fuck around.
And how many percent of women? Your guess.
We can say maybe 40 because
that's a lot.
Well,
that's what he just said. He just said 40 and 60.
Okay, but it's not with men. It's the number is a lot higher.
Okay, let's say it's 90 and 40, which by the way means that 100% of couples have cheated.
I found 95% of black dudes I know cheat, and 20% of white dudes.
20?
Yeah,
that's fucking hilarious that you come up with that shit.
We're just making up all kinds of statistics. I find that 100% of Icelandic people talk like guttural, but
no. White guys, black guys, Chinese guys, you name it.
Well,
It's something about that dick that is in control of your mind where you can be a person with all the potential in the world, but as long as you're healthy, pussy is on your mind. And it's almost frustrating.
It's like, incredibly frustrating. Like how what do I have to do?
Have you cheated? Do you not want to say you did?
I haven't cheated on a girlfriend in a long time.
But what do you think it is? I do agree with you that a man's physical state is more likely to lend itself to cheating because a male.
They call it cheating here, but this whole
Whatever
thing about you get with one woman and you just be with her and you build a life. That is the most phony shit I have ever seen promoted in my life. Who the fuck do you know as a man? It's rare that you can just be with one girl. It's rare.
I don't disagree with you.
And people who act like, oh, Corey, I can't believe you say shit like that. I think they're fucking weirdos. We did this thing where we had a whole bunch of people in this neighborhood sit around. It was like almost like a town hall meeting. And the subject was one of those things where it was talking about how should you treat your woman. And it was so many guys in there fucking being phony to get pussy. Like, oh, when your girl comes home from work, you should help her by washing the dishes and all that stupid shit that guys would say to gain favor, in front of the women. And I was just, when I said something, the whole room was against me. I was like, all you motherfuckers are lying. All you motherfuckers fuck around.
Yeah.
As soon as your girl leaves, you're looking for something to fuck because you're healthy and you have no control over that shit.
Yeah.
You're not strong enough. I can look at most of the guys in here. I remember saying that. And I know you're not strong enough to control that desire.
But wait.
And I was the bad guy.
So you basically outed all these guys?
Fuck, I don't know them. Fuck
Oh,
them.
all right. So you didn't know. You were just
But
like,
you said
what the fuck you talking about?
40% of women cheat, even in your opinion. So what's that about? If a man's
It may be lower because I know that women it's something in their vagina that works in their mind where it works together. They want who they're fucking.
Right.
Most women, they like if they're giving themselves to you, it's something inside of them. I don't know the scientific name or whatever, but I have noticed.
There's a chemical
planet,
called oxytocin.
Is that what it is?
It's a bonding chemical. So women release it when they have sex.
Yeah.
Men release it a tiny bit when they have sex.
If a man has sex with you, ladies, and he's really into you, or he's trying to be in a relationship with you, get the fuck away from him. He's a stalker.
Wait, but you're married.
When you fuck a girl, it should just be a fuck. You should not be liking her because
Wait,
y'all
you not fuck your wife? What's going on?
What happened with my wife again?
I'm just trying to figure
Yo,
out.
how did you stay
wife?
with your wife? You just kept accidentally fucking her once?
We had a different type of relationship where eventually we decided, okay, let's try to make it work. We were fucking around, and it turned into something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's how most relationships start.
I
You're
agree.
Fucking around.
But again, Patrice's joke. I've been with her for 6 years. She's been with me for 8.
Right. Eventually, you're like, you know what? She's hanging in there.
Yeah.
I think I might give her a shot.
And do her friends, some tells me that she agrees with a lot of your theories. Not all of them, but some of them.
She doesn't necessarily agree, but she's not stupid.
And her friends think she's an idiot for being with you.
I don't think her friends feel that way because, we met at a club.
They've all fucked him and they know how good that dick is.
Nah, I don't fuck with her friends. Her friends are different. Her friends actually come from two parent households.
They're NBA players.
It was awkward because I'm talking about nobody's fucking together like that, and then she'll take me to meet her friends, and her friends are married, and they come from homes where it was two people being married, so it's actually awkward for me to be around that type of shit.
Really?
Yeah, because
traditional nuclear families make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, they think they're better than they're better than us, but they're still out there fucking. And I don't know their husbands like that. I just know them from coming over and meeting them, but I know how men get down. So you think that this shit is cool? You think it's better than where I come from? Okay. But if we follow this motherfucker for a month, you'll find out you're just another bitch.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to what Corey said. There's a lot of craziness also, but there's a lot of truth to what you're saying.
But we're all out of fucking control, man.
Yeah.
We're out of fucking control. We have no discipline. We have no honor. The things that we do in this society and think that we're better than the motherfucking bad guys, it's fucking hilarious to me. We're no better than
it's just
them.
selective.
Let me just clarify. I actually don't think cheating is in unnatural. I think it's immoral, but it's natural, and it happened. I don't think it's wrong. I don't think a person that cheats is a bad person. I just think people are animals and they want to fuck, and shit happens. People cheat. I don't even think it's that big of a deal anymore. The big problem is the dishonesty that you have to continue to cultivate in order to continue to cheat. But
wait a minute. Let me make sure I got this right, because you fucked me up with that cultivate shit. When you say cultivate, what do you mean?
That's the half Jewish side of me.
Right.
I'm saying I don't want you to think that what I'm saying is any man who fucks around on his woman is a immoral, terrible person. No, I would never do such a thing. I'm capable of that times a million. I'm a fucking complete hound, I happen to have been monogamous for the last year, and it's the first time in my life that's ever happened. So I'm not saying...
So I'm your girlfriend. You telling me that?
What's that?
I'm your girlfriend.
Yeah, it's you.
You think I believe that shit?
No.
You think he's at home?
No, all I'm saying is... I'm trying to clarify that I'm not coming from a place where I go, any man that cheats is... I could never understand a guy could do that. I don't think I'm above any of that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like... I don't think that because I'm a man, I get a pass to cheat, and if a woman does it, she is doing something contrary to her gender nature. It's just not. It doesn't work like that.
Does this make me crazy? If my daughter or my mother or my sister, a woman you love, comes to you and asks you about, what to do with a man, I really think. I mean, my advice to her: listen. How does he treat you? Does he treat you respectfully? Do you feel comfortable around him? Do you think he's a fair guy? Well, that's how you judge a man. Because if you're worried about what the fuck he's doing out there in the street, you'll fucking go crazy.
Insane, yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I would love for my daughter, mother, sister, somebody like that to be with a guy who's not
like
out there fucking around. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
But you would like your girlfriend to be. You would like your daughter to be with somebody like you.
I think you luck across those guys. Because I know
I think he would like his daughter to be with someone like Corey.
Is that what you're saying?
Corey may be a dog on the street, but he is if you're in a relationship, he is fair to his wife.
Is that that's what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying, I would like for them to be with a guy who doesn't cheat or do anything like that, because
if
there
that
are
existed.
rare circumstances where you find men who only fuck around at home. Normally, they're older men who've had their adventures in the street, and they're really just on settle down mode.
Right.
But finding a young man who does it like that is so fucking rare. Come on, you're men. We're out there. Where do you guide the woman, a female that you love, like a sister, mother? How do you guide them to find a guy who don't cheat? You can't.
I say the same thing. That shit is luck of the draw.
No, I agree with you, but I think that the same's true on the other side. How do you guide a man towards a woman that doesn't cheat?
If a man doesn't know how to find the virtuous woman, he's fucked anyway.
But they're not unvirtuous any more than you are. They're just humans. They're animals. Women cheat. Men cheat. That's the way it is.
I agree. Women cheat as well, but I'm just saying it's like the one that you keep.
It's the one that doesn't cheat.
It's not the one out in the streets all the fucking time. That's not the one
I have
you
a
take
theory,
home.
the way to wrap this all up.
All right.
The way America is with the world, the way America is with the world, and the way like the controlling interests of America are in the world, the way they treat third world countries, like shit, just do our shit. Basically, America is a man, and the rest of the world is a woman. In Corey's thinking, it's defensible because
I'm powerful.
Kind of, yeah. Because I'm mighty.
Though? I don't think I'm the Messiah. I don't think I'm right about everything. I just have an opinion about things, and I'm only human. But if you're my woman, I guarantee you, I'm gonna take care of you. And if anybody fucks with you, we go into war.
All right, so ladies, you heard it here first.
That's
a mixed bag, ladies.
Don't fuck with my family.
He will hog tie you, but he'll hog tie somebody else if they fuck with you. And he will be fair, and you'll feed them. He'll get.
Hey, listen.
I take care of my woman. If you're my woman, goddammit, I got you.
Yeah.
Listen, regardless of all that,
if you're my side bitch, you got to earn yours. Go ahead.
Make me a sandwich.
Right. Make me that nice sandwich. That sandwich where you're proving you're trying to earn that number one slot.
Take the ice cream scooper and put some tuna fish on there.
Listen, regardless of your feelings on today's discussion, you should check out Corey's stand-up because you're a very funny dude. Great joke writer, real funny, real animal.
This is really going to make him
deal
with me.
They'll never forget. Anyone who listens to this will never forget.
Anybody who reads my tweets on Twitter will figure out that this motherfucker is a weirdo. Sometimes he says good shit, but sometimes he says shit. Because there's a lot of people who
I followed you for a while, and it was too crazy.
Right. There was people who were like, Corey, I can't fuck with you, man. I mean, I like you, but fuck you.
There was a lot of, like, these bitches out here type tweets.
Sometimes I do jokes on Twitter about women. Sometimes I do jokes about race relations.
Right.
I just go there. But a lot of the shit is for shock value, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm crazy like that.
Yeah, but we gotta have you back because we didn't even talk about white people.
Oh yeah, man.
And I know you have a lot of theories on white people.
Folks,
Corey
Holcomb,
he's gonna be at fucking somewhere in
You got a
St.
website?
Petersburg.
Levity Live.
Levity Live in Nyack.
You got a website?
Nyack. No, I have a website for my show, the 5150 Show, but we've been down
What is
for
that?
a while. 5150 Show is my radio show that I do. At 51 Corey Holcomb 5150show.com. We've been down for a while. We're about to get back up because that movie shit I was doing.
Yeah, what were
took
you
up
doing?
all of my day. It's some movie. It's called Wedding Ringers, Best Man Inc.
Kev's movie.
Yeah.
Great.
I think it's funny. But it was taken out. I was working 12 hours a day, so I couldn't do what I needed to do.
What were you playing?
One of the groomsmen.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Whitney Cummings in and Kevin Hart.
Folks,
All right.
Corey Holcomb, 5150 Radio. Find him on Twitter. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, man.
Now you're fucking with the champs.